Again I raised my eyes, and I saw in front of me a flying scroll. He said to me, "What do you see?" I replied, "I see a flying scroll 30 feet long and 30 feet wide." Then he said to me, "This is the curse that goes out over the face of all the land. For according to what is written on one side, everyone who steals will be swept away. And according to what is written on the other side, everyone who swears will be swept away. I will release it, says Adonai Sabaoth, and it will enter the house of the thief and the house of anyone who swears falsely by my name. It will stay there inside the house and consume it completely, even its timbers and stones." Then the angel speaking with me went forward and said to me, "Now raise your eyes and see what this thing is passing by." I asked, "What is it?" He said, "This is an ephah measure, 1 bushel dry measure passing by." Then he added, "This is their eye in all the land." Next I saw a lead disc lifted up and revealed a woman sitting on the ephah. He said, "This is evil." He threw her down into the ephah and pressed the lead weight over its opening. I raised my eyes and saw 2 women coming with the wind in their wings, for they had wings like those of a stork. They lifted up the ephah between the earth and the sky. I asked the angel speaking with me, "Where are they taking the ephah?" He answered me, "To build a shrine in the land of Shinar. It is ready, the ephah will be set down there on its base." Again I raised my eyes, and I saw in front of me 4 chariots coming out between 2 mountains. The mountains were mountains of bronze. The first chariot had red horses, the second chariot black horses, the third chariot white horses, and the fourth chariot spotted gray horses. I asked the angel speaking with me, "What are these, my lord?" The angel answered me, "These are the 4 winds of the sky that go out after presenting themselves before the Lord of the land, of all the land. The one with the black horses is going out toward the land of the north. The white horses have gone out after them. The spotted have gone out toward the land of the south. And the gray ones, they went out where they were seeking to go and wander throughout the whole earth." When he said, "Wander throughout the whole earth," and they did wander throughout the whole earth, then he called to me and said, "Look, the ones going to the land of the north have given my spirit rest in the northern country." This message from Adonai came to me: "Take gifts from the exiles of Hilda, Tavoya, and Yedoya, who have arrived from Babel. Then you go to the house of Yoshia, the son of Tethniah. Take silver and gold, make crowns. Put one on the head of Yehoshua, the son of Yotzedek, the Kohen Haggadol, and tell him, Adonai Sabaoth says, there is coming a man whose name is Timach, sprout. He will sprout up from this place and rebuild the temple of Adonai. Yes, he will rebuild the temple of Adonai, and he will take up royal splendor, sitting and ruling from his throne. There will be a Kohen before his throne, and they will accept each other's advice in complete harmony. The other crowns will be for the Helem, Tevayah, and Yedya, and Hen, the son of Zephaniah. Then they are to be kept as a memorial in the temple of Adonai. Those who are now far away will come and help rebuild the temple of Adonai. Then you will know that it is Adonai Sabaoth who sent me to you, and it will all come about provided you heed carefully what Adonai your God says. In the 4th year of the king Darvish, the 4th day of the 9th month, Kislev, a message from Adonai came to Zechariah. He sent Sartzer and Regim Melech with his men to be at El in order to ask Adonai's favor. As they inquired of the Kohanim of the house of Adonai Sabaoth and the prophets, should we go into mourning and abstain from pleasure during the 5th month, as we have been doing all these years? It was then that the message came to me from Adonai Sabaoth. Speak to all the people of the land the months throughout these 7 years. Were you really fasting for me? Was it for me? Rather, when you eat and drink, it's just to please yourself, isn't it? Isn't this just what Adonai proclaimed through the early prophets when Jerusalem was inhabited, prosperous, as were the cities around her, and the Negev and the Shephelah were inhabited? Then this message from Adonai came to Zechariah. In the past, Adonai's vote said, administer true justice. Let everyone show mercy, compassion to his brother. Don't oppress widows, orphans, foreigners, or the poor people. Don't plot evil against each other. They wouldn't listen. They stubbornly turned their shoulders away and stopped up their ears so that they wouldn't have to hear it. Yes, they made their hearts as hard as a diamond so that they wouldn't hear the Torah, the messages that Adonai's vote had sent by his spirit through the earlier prophets. This is why great anger came from Adonai's vote, and it came about that just as they hadn't listened when he called, so Adonai's vote, I won't listen when they call. But with the power of a whirlwind, I will disperse them among all the nations with which they had not known. Thus, the land was left desolate after them, so that no one came or went. They had turned a pleasant land into a desert. A message came from Adonai's vote. Adonai's vote says, I am extremely jealous of Zion's behalf, and I am jealous for her with great fury. Adonai says, I am returning to Zion, and I will live in Jerusalem. And Jerusalem will be called Truth City. Adonai's vote's mountain, the mountain of the Holy One. Adonai's vote says, old men and old women will once again sit in the open places of Jerusalem, each one with his cane in his hand because of their great age. The city's open places will also be full of boys and girls playing there. Adonai's vote says, this may seem amazing that the survivors in those days, but must it also seem amazing to me? Says Adonai's vote. Adonai's vote says, I will save my people from the lands east and west. I will bring them back, and they will live in Jerusalem. They will be my people, and I will be their God with faithfulness, justice. Adonai's vote says, take courage, you who are hearing only now. In these days, these words spoken by the prophets when the foundation was being laid for rebuilding the temple, the house of Adonai's vote. For prior to the time, there were wages, neither for people nor for animals. Moreover, it was unsafe for anyone to go out or come in because of the enemy. For I set all peoples against each other. But from now on, I will not treat the remnant of the people as I did before, says Adonai's vote. Now then they will sow in peace. The vine will give its fruit. The ground will produce its yield. The sky will give its dew. It will cause the remnant of the people to possess all these things, house of Yehuda and the house of Israel. Just as you were formerly a curse among the nations, so now I will save you, and you'll be a blessing. Don't be afraid, but take courage. For Adonai's vote says, just as I have resolved to you harm when your forefathers provoked me, Adonai's vote says, I did not relent. So now I resolve to do good in Jerusalem, the house of Yehuda. Don't be afraid. These are the things you are to do. Speak the truth to each other in your courts. Administer justice that is true and conducive to peace. Don't plot harm against each other. Don't love perjury. For all these things I hate, says Adonai. This word of Adonai's vote came to me. Adonai's vote says, the fast days of the 4th, 5th, 6th, 10th months are to become times of joy, gladness, and cheer for the house of Yehuda. Therefore, love truth and peace. Adonai's vote says, in the future, peoples and inhabitants of many cities will come. The inhabitants of one city will travel to another and say, we must go to ask Adonai's favor and consult Adonai's vote. I'll go too. Yes, many peoples and powerful nations will come to consult Adonai's vote in Jerusalem and to ask Adonai's favor. Adonai's vote says, when that day comes, 10 men will take hold, speaking all languages of the nations, will grab hold of the cloak of a Jew and say, we want to go with you because you have heard that God is with you.